That's when it expired. Now that was spot on. That's the exact date of 9/11. So it makes you think a little bit. That's just one thing, and then you have the whole Simpsons thing. So does it actually exist? Who knows? But it definitely goes along with the Matrix theory, as where anyway. I'll tell you about Person of Interest. Person of Interest is about a supercomputer that was built by a really intelligent individual, and it slowly but surely took over the world just by doing certain things. Stopping crime, because it had the what do you call it? The whole place became covered with cameras just by a law this computer set out. So that thing about the Matrix, about us being ran by computers, could possibly be a thing, dude. It's not improbable. You know what I mean?
It's not, and I would be so
pissed. Would you take the blue or
red pill? Why do you do some of this shit to me, computer guy? Like, you're fucked up.
Right.
I'm gonna find him and punch him in the face. I'm gonna kick him in the dick, because some of this stuff is just ridiculous.
Dude, seriously. I think to myself, oh, if you could read my thoughts, Mr. Computer, you're a dick.
Like, such an asshole. Yeah. No, I would be pissed. Like, what is the point of anything?
Well, and if you look at it, today's society goes along right with that theory, too. Today's society is a very, or what's going on, the story of what's going on in society today is very non-emotional and very cold.
It is.
And it takes
kind of surreal.
Yeah. Yes. We have an orange-faced buffoon as a president.
Reality TV star is president of the United States.
Seriously.
And
it's amazing. Anyway,
it's definitely surreal. Like, it doesn't seem like real life anymore.
You know, I am probably one of those people that have a hard time accepting this reality. I definitely am, dude. I don't know why. It's probably why I smoke weed. Because I'm having a hard time accepting it.
I hate it. I hate it. Like, this, just everything that's going on right now, the world in general, is just awful. And you kind of get that feeling like you're supposed to be somewhere else. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. But you are home.
Me too, bro. Me too.
So,
I feel the same exact way.
What is that place that you want to go to? You've never been there.
Right. I wish I could tell you.
But,
I think it's where
me too.
Where it was before we came here. I have an interesting thing that I used to go. I developed my spirituality through 12-step programs, and one thing I had thought about was what if I sat in where there is an existence that we don't know about and planned out my entire life and then came to Earth and embodied something, and there I am. And everything that I'm going through is through my own choosing. That's what I wonder about. So, that's just part of my... I know, it's a little far-fetched.
Like, what if you existed somewhere else and you were just kind of plucked away from there because you're needed in this shithole for some reason?
Right. Right. Exactly. That makes a lot of sense right there.
That would piss me off, too. Like, don't pluck me out of wherever I'm supposed to be from. Like, send me back.
Right on, man.
Beam me up, bitches.
Nice. Do you believe that we are headed towards a socialist democracy that will usher in a totalitarian dictatorship?
The way it's looking, I mean, I would not be surprised. You know, we asked for universal health care, and they're like, no, you can't have that. This isn't a dictatorship. But here are some literal Nazis. Have fun with those. So, yeah, it would not surprise me one bit.
I think, I was thinking that over today, that question over, because I definitely think a socialist democracy is where we're heading. My guest that I had on last night kind of jarred my mind a little bit, too. I think that a socialist democracy would make us so dependent on the state that it would weaken us. It would weaken us emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And it would be prime, since we're so dependent on the state having control of everything in our lives, that it would make way for a dictatorship. That's what I think would happen. So
that's exactly what would happen.
It's scary, isn't it?
It is scary.
You know what? I try to not have fear about a lot of things because of that thing, The Secret. Because I don't want to project fear out there and have it come back to me. I don't want to put thoughts and feelings of fear. I don't want to put any emotions into a thought that can make it come to fruition.
You don't want to think it into existence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
But yeah, no, I could see us heading that way, though. Think about all the red tape we go through right now with, simple things like health insurance.
Right.
They're telling our doctors now what they can and can't prescribe, or if they do prescribe it, we want a prior authorization to make sure they actually need that, even though you're the doctor.
Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Even your own doctors right now can't even prescribe what they want without having to jump through hoops.
Yeah, we're running into that in Arizona too. So I understand that. Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
I do. You think something exists, and then you find out that it doesn't. Like that movie where everyone swore that Ice-T was a genie in a movie, and he was not.
Sinbad. I think it was Sinbad.
Yeah, and it turns out that movie never existed, but we all swore we saw it. I was one of those people. Like, I swore I saw that movie, but no, I did not.
Do you know what a transdimensional shift is?
Transdimensional shift.
It's
that is when two parallel universes collide into each other.
Yes.
And yes. And you kind of get a ripple effect.
Right.
They kind of fuse together.
That's what I think the Mandela effect is. That's what I think that's what I think is going on. I think a couple of us, not a couple of us, but a good majority of us got thrown into a different dimension or an alternate universe, and this is our reality now. And this is definitely the bad reality.
I could see that. They fuse together and it caused false memories.
Yeah. Dude, people have told me things, and it's probably happened to you. People have told me things I've done while I'm sober that I don't ever remember that happening, but people swear by it. Some people have pulled out a video on me and showed me. I definitely think something has happened to that extent.
I would believe that. Yeah.
I don't know how. The other thing is, you know what the Super Collider is?
Super Quad? No.
Okay. The Super Collider was a machine developed by scientists who ended up having a debate whether to activate it or not, because there was like a 1.00000.1 chance that it could rip a hole in the center of space and time and gravity, or center in space and time, and cause a ripple effect.
Wait, is that when they created the machine hoping to open up a parallel universe? That was the ultimate goal?
A black hole, yeah.
But they were afraid of creating a wormhole.
Yeah. So, what if they activated it? And this is what the fuck happened.
Well, that'd be fucked up. Like, that would suck.
And what would
at least tell us, like, hey, we accidentally threw you into another dimension. We are so sorry. Well, you're not crazy.
That would get covered up, number one. You know that. That would definitely get covered up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Number two, they would probably be thinking that we wouldn't notice all that much, and there wouldn't be enough of us that would notice all that much because the changes are so small.
They don't feel small.
Right. Right, the little things like Berenstein Bears. I'm pretty sure they have the Berenstein Bears. That's how I remember them. What other examples of the Mandela effect do we remember?
Wait, is that real?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, that's real. You gotta look up some videos, man. Berenstein Bears is like the first thing you see. The whole Mandela. You know who Nelson Mandela was?
Yeah.
Okay, so to most people's knowledge, he died in 2013. Myself and other people, especially people that I grew up with, remember us seeing watching the news at school because it was an emergency or latest breaking thing. I don't know why. Actually, I don't know why they were showing it to us, but they were in school. That he died in prison in the 80s, like 87, 88, bro. I remember that specifically because it was the first example of death that I'd ever remembered. So that definitely says something to me. So, yeah, that's my thought. I said that on the last podcast too. I don't know why I repeated myself, but I'm passionate about it, man. Do you have any examples of that like that in your life?
Of the Mandela effect?
Yes.
Other than the iced tea not being a genie, no, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there have been. I just can't think of any right offhand.
Okay. All right. Do you know who Alex Jones and David Icke are?
No.
Okay. David Icke and Alex Jones are both conspiracy researchers. People say that David Icke has a mental illness, and people say Alex Jones is a piece of shit. But they are conspiracy researchers, not theorists. Check their shit out, man, when you get a chance. It's entertaining, if anything, to say the least. And some of the shit they come up with will blow your fucking mind. So I definitely give them a chance. Watch. Actually, most of David Icke's videos were banned from YouTube, so I don't know where else to find them at. I think that's on London Real. You can check that website out.
Oh, it's the internet. They're somewhere.
Okay. Do you believe we had
I will find them. I will track them down. I will hunt them down.
I know you'd be into it, dude. I totally knew you'd be into it. Do you think we've become a hedonistic society?
Yes.
Okay. Well, do you have any examples?
Did you say Hinduistic society?
Hindu, yeah, hedonistic.
Ignistic.
The maximization of pleasure and the minimization of pain, whether it be physical or emotional.
I would say so, yes. If you think about it, minimization of pain, obviously alcohol is a huge thing with this generation. Everyone drinks, right?
It's weird, isn't it?
Everyone drinks. Pharmaceuticals are being pushed heavy, especially even to people that don't even need them. People that don't have mental illness or on, psychiatric drugs.
Right.
Why?
This choice is that it irreparably damages and in many cases forces an end to the relationship. After driving away one's scapegoat, it is usually discovered that one's problems persist nonetheless. This spurs some to look within and to face up to the elements of their personality they have for so long tried to deny. But rather than partaking in this internal reflection, most people merely look for another scapegoat. In this process, it is often discovered that the most effective form of scapegoat is not any individual in particular, but rather entire groups of people. This tendency of scapegoating to occur on a collective level can have dangerous consequences for a society. Those unwilling or unable to face up to their shadows are easy prey for collectivist movements which have ready-made scapegoats in the form of political opponents, members of different ethnic groups or socioeconomic classes. Scapegoating at the level of collectives, or in other words, projecting our problems onto groups of people who differ from us, proves attractive for several reasons. It allows us to avoid the damage to our personal relationships which occurs when we use someone close to us as a scapegoat.